Welcome to session 3 of Unit 5 in learning the course Design and Analysis of Algorithms. In our previous sessions, we seen what is the general method of branch and bound algorithm design strategy, and also we seen one of the applications which is solved by using branch and bound design strategy, that is a traveling salesperson problem. In our today's session, we are going to see how to solve 0 by 1 knapsack problem by following branch and bound algorithm design strategy. You already know that what is knapsack problem, and we have two types of knapsack problems. One is fractional knapsack and other is 0 by 1 knapsack. I hope you already well versed with the difference of those two, fractional knapsack and 0 by 1 knapsack. Here the knapsack problem which is solved using greedy method is fractional knapsack problem. The knapsack problem what we are solving by using dynamic programming and branch and bound algorithm design strategy is 0 by 1 knapsack problem. Now here in this session we are going to see how to solve 0 by 1 knapsack problem in branch and bound algorithm design strategy. The main objectives of this session are to understand what is knapsack problem, to solve knapsack problem by following branch and bound algorithm design strategy. Coming to the learning outcomes of this session, by listening this session one can understand what is knapsack problem and able to follow branch and bound algorithm design strategy to solve knapsack problem. The topics that we are going to discuss in this session are problem statement, solving knapsack problem in LC method. So here I already explained you that while we are discussing about branch and bound general method, we have three types of searching techniques. One is FIFO, other is LIFO, and another is LC method. Now we solve the traveling salesperson problem in LC method. If you go for FIFO and LIFO in case of traveling salesperson, it becomes a complex problem. So we did not see that, we did not explain that FIFO and LIFO. But in case of knapsack problem, we are going to solve the knapsack problem in all the three methods, LC method, FIFO method and LIFO method. In this session, we are going to see how to solve knapsack problem using LC method, that is least cost method. Coming to the problem statement, I hope you already know the problem statement of knapsack problem. What is the problem statement? Just I am going to remind the things. Given n objects, let us say those objects as x1, x2, so on, xn. Each object xi is associated with a profit pi and a weight wi. Also given a knapsack whose capacity is m. So we are given some n objects. Say those n objects as x1, x2, so on, xn. Each object is associated with a profit and a weight, and we also given a knapsack whose capacity is m. So if an object is placed into the knapsack means its profit is earned by us. If we place one object into the knapsack means its profit is earned. The knapsack 0 by 1 knapsack problem is to place objects into the knapsack in such a way that the total weight of the objects placed into the knapsack must be less than or equal to the capacity of knapsack, and total profit earned must be maximum. That is, we need to select a subset of objects to place into the knapsack in such a way that the total weight of the objects which are placed into the knapsack should be less than or equal to capacity of knapsack, and the total profit earned must be maximum. That is, we need to select the objects in such a way that the total profit must be maximum and weight should be less than or equal to capacity of knapsack. Now here the time complexity of solving knapsack problem is big O of n in case of this branch and bound algorithm design strategy. Coming to the branch and bound technique, here The branch and bound algorithm design strategy is used to solve minimization problems. In our earlier case, that is traveling salesperson problem, which is a minimization problem. So that is, we are going to find the shortest tour or the shortest path which completes with the minimum cost. So that's why we are calling that as a minimization problem. But here our knapsack problem is a maximization problem. That is, the total profit earned must be maximum. So that's why it is a maximization problem. Okay, so based on whether the given problem is minimization problem or maximization problem, that is based on the objective function. Here in case of traveling salesperson problem, the objective function is the cost of the path must be minimum. That is the objective function. Since we need to find a path with minimum cost, that becomes a minimization problem. But in case of knapsack problem, here we need to find the objects which returns maximum cost, so the maximum profit. So that's why this problem is a maximization problem. But branch and bound algorithm design strategy cannot be directly used to solve maximization problems. It is used to solve minimization problems. So here we need to convert our maximization problem into minimization problem. How to convert maximization problem into minimization problem? By taking the profits as negative. What becomes maximum? Profit becomes maximum. So if I am taking its value as negative, it becomes a minimization problem. That is, suppose for example, if I have the values 5, 3, whose are profits of two objects, if you take the general problem, its total profit becomes 8. So if you want to convert this into minimization problem, if you take the profits, if you add the profit, it becomes minus 8. So for these values, for 5 and 3, if you add, the minimum value is minus 8 and maximum value is 8. So in case of maximization problem, the total profit becomes 8. But in case of minimization problem, the total profit must become minus 8. So that's why if you are taking negative values to the profits, we can convert the given maximization problem into minimization problem. Okay, so we need to consider this point while we are solving knapsack problem in branch and bound strategy. In any process, in the LC method or FIFO method or LIFO method, in any method, in FIFO or LIFO or LC method, we need to convert the maximization problem into minimization problem by taking the profit values as negative. Right. Let us see how to solve the problem in least cost method. How to solve the problem in least cost method. Here I given a problem with n is equal to 4. That is 4 objects are given. Let us say those 4 objects as x1, x2, x3 and x4, and these 4 objects whose weights are given as 2, 4, 6, 9 and whose profits are given as 10, 10, 12, 18. 10, 10, 12, 18. Now here and capacity of knapsack is also given whose value is 15. Now we need to convert this problem into minimization problem. How to convert this problem into minimization problem? By taking profits as negative. Here I am taking all profit values as negative. That is minus 10, minus 10, minus 12 and minus 18. Now how to solve the problem? Let us see. The LC branch and bound problem starts with node 1. So we are going to start with node 1. That is, we are going to construct a state space tree organization for solving this problem. It starts with node 1 and it is considered as E node. So initially we need to consider the starting node as the E node and expand it to get nodes 2 and 3. That node is expanded to get nodes 2 and 3. That is, node 2 is representing the first object value as 1 and node 3 is representing the first object value as 0. Right. The cost and upper values are calculated at each node. If the cost of any node is less than its corresponding node, suppose for example, here I written the tree as like this. That is, here x1 is equal to 1, x1 is equal to 0 here. So I go for finding the cost and upper bound values at these two nodes. If cost of this node is less when compared to the cost of this node, we need to consider this as the E node and we need to expand this node. This process is continued till we get the solution, or that is till all the objects are completed. Now here the same process that we are following. Let us see here what we obtained by doing this. Here this is the tree structure what we are obtaining by solving the knapsack problem in LC branch and bound method. Now let us see how to solve this problem. The given values are n is equal to 4, W1 to W4 weights are given, profits are given, and m is equal to 15. Now let us calculate the cost at each and every node. Now how to find the cost? Let us see how to find the cost. So see here, the given profits are minus 10, minus 10, minus 12, minus 18, and given weights are 2, 4, 6, 9, and capacity is 15. Now initially consider I am placing x1. I am placing x1 into the knapsack. Now I am going to find at node 1. At node 1, I am considering x1 is placed into the knapsack. If I placed x1 into the knapsack, how much capacity it occupies? Since its weight is 2, it occupies a capacity of 2. So what is remaining capacity? 13. If I place this into the knapsack, what the profit that I am earning? The profit that I am earning is minus 10. The profit that I am earning is minus 10. Now let us consider I am placing x2 also completely. X2 also completely. What it occupies? It occupies a space of or a capacity of 4. What is remaining capacity? 9. And we earn a profit of minus 10. We earn a profit of minus 10. Now let us consider x3. Now I am completely placing x3 also. What is remaining? 3. What the profit I am earning? Minus 12. Now you can consider this as the upper bound. So what is this one? 2 minus 3. So totally it becomes minus 32. So here the upper bound that you are considering is minus 32 at node 1. Minus 32 at node 1. Now what about the lower bound? So in calculating upper bound, we are considering only whether an object is completely placed or an object is not placed. That is, here x1 value is 1, x2 value is 1, x3 value is 1. Since I did not place x4, its value is 0. That is, we are considering either 0 or 1 in calculating upper bound. But in calculating lower bound, you need to consider the fractional values also. Now, if I consider x4, how much part of x4 can be placed into the knapsack? Here I have the available capacity is 3, but the weight of x4 is 9. So I cannot place x4 completely into the knapsack. Now, which part of x4 can be placed? 3 by 9th part of x4 can be placed. 3 by 9th part of x4 can be placed. Now, what the profit that I can earn? This much of profit only I can earn. 3 by 9 into minus 18. Since its profit is 18, we are taking minus 18. 9 ones, 9 twos. Here we will get total profit that I am earning because of this 3 by 9th part of object 4 is minus 6. Now, by adding these two, what you will get? Minus 38. This becomes lower bound. This becomes lower bound at node 1. So, I hope you all understood. Now, in case of calculating lower bound, we are considering x1 1, x2 1, x3 1 and x4 3 by 9 part. x4 3 by 9 part. That is, we are considering fractional values also. So, here in calculating upper bound, we are considering only whole values, either 0 or 1. No fractional values are considered. But in calculating lower bound, we are considering fractional values also. So here the upper bound at node 1 is minus 32 and lower bound at node 1 is minus 38. Let us see the tree structure. Here the lower bound is represented as minus 38 and upper bound is represented as minus 32. Now, I already said you that in least cost method, the node 1 is to be considered as E node and we are going to generate childs for it. Those childs are 2 and 3. Here I generated childs 2 and 3. Now, here the path 2, 1 to 2 indicates x1 is equal to 1. The path 1 to 3 indicates x1 is equal to 0. Now, how to calculate upper bound and lower bound at node 2 and node 3? Let us see. Here, node 2. At node 2, what we are considering, x1 is 1. That is, we are placing x1 completely. Now, at node 1 itself, how we calculated that one? 15. We are considering x1 placed into completely. So, we are earning a profit of minus 10. X2 can also be placed after x1. If I want to extend x2 can also be placed completely. So we are earning a profit minus 10. x3 can also be placed completely. We can earn a profit minus 12. So now x4 cannot be placed. Only 3 by 9th part of x4 can be placed. So its profit is minus 6. So this is considered as upper bound and entirely this is considered as lower bound. Here this is considered as upper bound and this is considered as lower bound at node 2 also. So let us see. At node 2, C of 2, that is lower bound becomes minus 38 and upper bound becomes minus 32. Right. How to calculate at node 3? How to calculate at node 3? Let us see. At node 3, what that path indicates? That path indicates x1 is equal to, that path indicates x1 is equal to 0. That is, we cannot place x1. So, let us see how to calculate. So, here 15, since x1 is 0, we are not placing x1. Then what is the chance for? The next chance for x2. By placing x2, what it occupies? It occupies a capacity of 4. The remaining is 11. What the profit we are earning? Minus 10. Now I can place x3. Now it occupies a capacity of 6. And the remaining is 5. And whose profit that I am earning is minus 12. And if I go for x4, since its weight is 9 and the remaining capacity is 5, we cannot place completely. So, this can be considered as upper bound. This can be considered as upper bound. That is minus 22. And coming to lower bound, only 5 by 9th part that I can place. By calculating this, what we will get? Minus 10 is the profit. That is 9 ones, 9 twos, 5 twos are minus 10. Now what it becomes? Minus 32. So this is the total of this one, which is lower bound. So here the lower bound is minus 32. Upper bound is minus 22. Now let us see here. The cost of 3, that is lower bound, minus 32. Upper bound, minus 22. Lower bound, minus 32. And upper bound, minus 22. Now here, let us see. Out of these two, the lower bound value, consider the lower bound value. Here I got a lower bound of minus 38. Here I got a lower bound of minus 32. Which is less value? Whether minus 38 is less or minus 32 is less? Minus 38 is less. Since this is having low cost, it is considered as the next E node. This is killed. This node is killed. That is dead node. We are not getting solution from that node. Okay. So this is expanded. By expanding this, I will get two nodes 4 and 5. The path 2 to 4 indicates x2 is equal to 1. The path 2 to 5 indicates x2 is equal to 0. Now, how to calculate the values? Here, let us observe the things. At node 2 also, at node 2, what we are considering? x1 is 1 and we calculated upper bound and lower bound. At node 4, what we are considering? X2 is 1. The same thing, X1 1 and X2 1. By considering X1 1 and X2 1 only, I calculated the upper bound and lower bound at node 1. The same thing, here the values cannot be changed. Here I will get the same values. Minus 38 and minus 32. But at node 5, the values will be changed. Now let us calculate at node 5 what becomes the values. Now at node 5, let us see at node 5, here the capacity is 15. What we are doing? X1 is 1. So here we are coming node 5, here means X1 is 1. So since X1 is 1, what capacity it occupies? 2, and its profit is 10. X2 is 0. So we are not placing X2. And X3 is 1. So X3 1 means what it occupies? It occupies 6 and remaining is 7 and its profit is minus 12. Now what about X4? Here X4 weight is 9 and the remaining capacity is 7. We cannot place X4 completely. So this is considered as upper bound. Now here for calculating lower bound, we need to allow fractional values. How much part of X4 can be placed? 7 by 9th part of X4 can be placed. So here 9 ones, 9 twos, we will get minus 14. Now what becomes the value? Minus 36. This becomes lower bound, minus 36. Now let us see here, cost of 5, that is C of 5 is minus 36, U of 5 is minus 32. Now cost of 4 is 38, minus 38. Now let us compare cost of 4 and cost of 5. Cost of 4 is minus 38, cost of 5 is minus 36. Out of those two, which is less? 4 is having less value. So that's why this is considered as the next E node and this node is killed. So next we are going to expand 4 to get the nodes 6 and 7. To get the nodes 6 and 7. Now we need to calculate the boundary values at 6 and 7. We need to calculate the boundary values at 6 and 7. Now let us see how to calculate the boundary values at 6 and 7. Let us see at 6 what we are considering? X3 as 1. Now in previous cases at 1, at 2, at 4, we are considering X1 1, X2 1, X3 1. So here 6 also, at 6 also we will get the same values. That is cost of 6 is minus 38, upper bound is minus 32. Okay. Now at node 7, let us see how to calculate at node 7. Node 7, now let us see, 15 is the capacity. Now how we are coming for node 7? X1 1, X2 1, X3 0. That is here X1 1. So 2 is placed and remaining is 13 and profit earned is minus 10. X2 1, if I place X2, the remaining is minus 9 and I will earn a profit of minus 10. And here X3 is 0. Now I place X4. X4 is 1. Since I can completely place X4, the remaining capacity is 9 and X4 weight is 9. I can completely place. So it becomes 0 and profit earned is minus 38. Minus 38, which becomes both lower bound and upper bound. Now here you can observe at C7, both lower bound and upper bound are minus 38 itself. Minus 38 itself. Now here, let us see, now here upper bound, let us see the value of upper bound here. Actually the upper bound value is minus 32, but here what becomes the upper bound? Minus 38. Since the upper bound is less than the given upper bound value, the upper value is updated. The upper value is updated as minus 38. Here for both the nodes, cost is same. For both the nodes, cost is same. But since 7, at node 7, the upper bound value is updated. We consider the next expandable node is 7. The next expandable node is 7 and 6 is killed. So here we are getting the nodes as 8 and 9 and the path values are x4 1, x4 0. Now here I am going to calculate the value x4 1 at 8. What are the costs? Now if you consider this one, the same thing we calculated. So x1 1, x2 1, x3 0, x4 1. The same thing. Path, let us observe. x1 1, x2 1, x3 0, x4 1. You will get the same values. So here cost of 8, that is C of 8 and U of 8 both are minus 38, minus 38. And coming to C of 9, how to calculate these values? Let us see. Here 15, if I placed first object, I will get minus 10 profit. If I place second object, I will get a profit of again minus 10. Here x3 is 0, x4 is 0. Both are 0. In this case, I cannot place anything. So that's why whose cost becomes minus 20. So here in this case, both upper bound and lower bound becomes minus 20 and minus 20. Now out of these two, which is having lower cost, this is having lower cost. Since this cost is minus 38 and this cost is minus 20. So this becomes live node and this becomes killed. So here what is the path? Here you can identify the path as like this. This is the path. So here what we are getting the path, this is the path what we are obtaining. Now in this path, what the values? x1 1, x2 1, x3 0 and x4 1. So what the profit that we are earning? Minus 38. That is, since we converted that into minus, it obtained as minus 38. But actually if you take the original values, that is positive values, the maximum profit earned is 38. And what is the capacity we occupied? 2 plus 4 plus 9. So that is what the capacity that we are occupying, 15, which is less than or equal to the capacity of knapsack. So we solve the problem and we got the solution as 1101. That is, first object completely placed, second object completely placed, third object not placed and fourth object completely placed to earn the maximum profit. This gives LC method, least cost method. Why we are calling this method as least cost method means we are considering every time which node returns the least cost value. That becomes the live node. Now here we compared these two. Since this gives least cost, we expanded this one. We compared these two. Since this gives least cost, we compared these two. We compared these two. We considered this one. Since here the updated value is there. Now out of these two, since this gives least cost, we considered this as the live node. So that's why at every time, for expanding the tree, for branching, we are using the boundary values. For doing branching, we are using boundary values whose boundary value is less, that is expanded. So that's why we are calling this method as LC method, least cost method. I hope you all understood the least cost method. So now I am going to summarize the concepts what we explained in this session. In this session, we explained about what is knapsack problem, how to convert maximization problem into minimization problem, and how to solve knapsack problem using LC method, that is least cost method. Now to assess yourself, here I given a question. Please solve this given problem using LC method. Here I given 5 objects whose profits and weights are given and capacity of knapsack is also given. Solve this problem by following LC method. In preparing the digital content or in preparing the presentation, I used the digital content from various public sources. It is only used for educational purpose and not for the commercial purpose. Thank you for listening the session.